Hi, I'm Richard Murphy, and I've been reading some of the nonsense that's written on things like Twitter about Scotland. One of the claims that I've read is that Scotland will never be able to afford to be independent. What nonsense.
Scotland could never afford to be independent. I don't agree with that at all. I think speculatively we'll probably go back into the biggest trading bloc in the world. I think we have a renewables energy sector, a software sector, an engineering sector, a creative sector. We have a hugely educated workforce. I don't think we're going to survive. I think we're going to thrive.
Scotland will be a country of over 5 million people with a strong, stable democracy, its own currency, its own civil service, its own administration, a strong rule of law based upon hundreds of years of experience, because Scotland's got that, its own education system, which is, frankly, in many ways, particularly at university level, envied around the world, its own health system, a strong, stable foundation for a state.
Getting rid of Trident will just lead to job losses. Greens believe in investing in a just transition for all communities. Hundreds of thousands of jobs could be created with the money wasted on these weapons of mass destruction.
The SNP would be in power forever after independence. I really hope not, and it would be very healthy for the country if they weren't. But I think the SNP is going to be the electoral device that gets us to a referendum and then gets us through a referendum towards independence. But I think it's absolutely certain that either the SNP will begin to break up into parts, or we will have new alliances that happen.
We should wait for a Labour government to be voted in. Well, so far as I can see, I'll be pushing up the daisies for a fair number of years before that ever happens.
We should just wait for a Labour government to be voted in instead of getting independence. Scotland hasn't voted Tory since 1955, so what we get at Westminster is not really representative of our country. And that just seems wrong to me. And basically we just always get what England votes for. And that's not really democracy. And I actually don't think it's up to England, neither their right nor their responsibility actually, to decide what kind of government we get here in Scotland.
Every time there's another Tory scandal down south, there seems to be a bigger gap opening between the Conservatives and the Labour Party. I don't know what's going on there at all, but I'm pretty certain that since they've only got one Labour MP in Scotland, that a Labour government's not going to come along anytime soon, and certainly not in time to save my bacon.